Hello, I'm Joe, and this is Sierra Specialty Auto. Welcome back to the shop. I've got quite a few stickers to put up on my board. Let's step over to the roll-around cart, see what I've got. First, I have some nice stickers from Robert Dudley Toolwright. Robert sent me 3. I'll keep a couple for my board, pass one along to somebody else. Robert, or should I say Dudley, apologizes for taking so long to get his stickers to me. Robert, I got yours ready to go in the mail today. It's taken me this long to get around to opening envelopes. Same for Dean Crawford at the Air Cave Shop, and I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly. Dean sent me stickers quite some time ago, a couple of his own, and a couple I don't have. Dale Derry's built something cool, and Keith Fenner's Turn Right Machine Works. I'll get stickers off in the mail to Keith and Dale as soon as I can get their addresses. Dean also sent a couple of Australian stickers, YouTube Machinist Facebook group and Emma's Spare Room Machine Shop. I happen to have copies of those. I'll put these in an envelope to somebody else when I send mine out. Last but certainly not least, I got Max Grant at Swan Valley Machine Shop. I'll get one of these on the board, save one to pass on. Now let's see what they look like on the big board. It's particularly appropriate that I just put up a sticker for Swan Valley Machine Shop. Max did a series recently on reconditioning a Toolpost grinder, and that series reminded me that I have a similar grinder that I no longer need. I bought it originally as a backup when I was in business. Now that I've retired, one grinder is plenty. I don't need the backup. I want to go through it, check it out, make sure it's fully functional, and put it up for sale. So let's go back to the roll-around cart, take a look at the grinder I have. Here's the box with the old grinder in it. I'm going to swing this around so I can get to the side of it. Got one of these typical old boxes that opens in the front. Let's get this little puppy out of here. So, now the question is, are the bearings any good? Well, that sounds pretty fair. Brushes are dragging a bit. I think first thing we want to do is bring a cord over here, plug it in. This is a 10,000 RPM, 115 volt, 0.4 horsepower. This is a number 33 Dumore All-Star. This is where it would mount onto the cross slide. Spring-loaded for tension on the belt. All right, let's hook a cord up and see if it'll run. I can see this is already a replacement cord. At the other end, it's a molded, grounded plug, and at this end, of course, non-grounded, old style stuff. It is polarized, so that may help set a date. I think I'm pretty happy with that. We will, of course, pull the brushes and take a look at them the way Max checked out his brushes. But overall, I don't see any significant issues. I think this is just about ready to put to work. Well, we've got something going on here. This brush holder has got, looks like sink caulking, white RTV sink caulking. We'll have to figure out what's going on there. I may have to try to find a brush holder or make one. Well, let's get a screwdriver and take a look in this hole. The brush looks quite good, plenty of it, and a nice finish. I don't know how well that shows up, but I'm happy with that. What I'm wondering now is if this brass cap had a plastic cap molded to it, and the plastic was supposed to come up tight against the brush housing here, and that has broken off or fallen off. The same brush with the same nice finish. No obvious issues there. I think we'll let well enough alone. That commutator looks good. There's no odd color on it. Looks smooth, and the wear surface as reflected in the brushes obviously smooth and good. I don't believe I'm going to take this apart. Max obviously had bearing problems with his, and I don't feel or hear any bearing problems with this one. Spindle may be noisy when we get a pulley on that and get that set up. We'll have to see about that. There's a possibility we'll have to do something with spindle bearings. I do notice that this does not have the original guard on it. That's of some concern, but not a deal breaker. My other one does not have a guard on it either. Where does it mount? Must be some screw holes. Well, possibly here. Here's threaded holes. Threaded holes here. I'll have to do some research and see what I can find out about that. Right now, I think I'm going to go online and look up the Dumore number 33 All-Star and see what kind of information I can get from the internet. I find nothing online about a Dumore number 33. I do find information about the current Series 44, which appears in every respect that I can see to be identical to this, with the exception that the current 44 has a 1/4 horsepower motor, whereas this one has a 0.4 horsepower motor, slightly heavier duty motor. I can't find in the parts list any cover or plug for the brushes other than the brass plug that this one has. It does appear that the pulleys are all here. This manual talks about 4 different pulleys sized from number 1, which I believe is this one, although it's not marked, and number 5 does have a mark in it. I don't know if that'll show up, but there's a 5 stamped in there. This is also a hollow pulley on the arbor, so it's probably got a number 4 stamped in it. Now this belt is intact. It seems to be in fairly good shape, but I'm going to see if I can order a replacement belt from McMaster Car to have with it. Newer models, of course, have grounded plugs. This has a polarized 2-prong plug, which is a very good fit. I wanted to check and see if the neutral is bonded to the case. If it isn't, I may be a little concerned about that. So here we have the ohmmeter. Let's see if the neutral is bonded to the case, and it is not. Of course, neither is the hot. So I'll have to think about whether I want to try to install a grounded receptacle on this, or just leave it be like countless thousands of other older models of tool post grinder that are being operated every day with this same electrical setup. And when it comes right down to it, as soon as you mount this on the machine, it is going to be grounded through the machine quite effectively. So that's probably not really an issue to be concerned with. I'm not going to worry about a belt cover. Next owner can worry about that. I am going to worry about a wheel cover. I have some of these 2-inch thick 6061 aluminum plugs that were trepanned out of aluminum plate. This is 4 3/4 to the rough surface here. That'll give me plenty to work with. I'm going to make a 1-piece cover out of aluminum that secures in the manner of the later machines. There's a reduced diameter that clamps around this nut with a slots and a clamp, and so we're going to make one of those. I'll draw one of those. I'll draw that up, draw up a sketch so I have something to work to. There'll be some lathe work, some milling machine work that might be interesting enough. I'll go ahead and record that.